Well, welcome back to Dunkirk Dunes. So I'm just getting over a cold. You can probably hear it. But this is going to be U.S. and China turn 3, and U.S. is still not at war. Um, so just getting ready. I'm sure that we'll be in the war. Well, we'll be in the war at the end of our turn. But so there'll be some action next turn. But here is the U.S. purchase. So I had 54 to spend. I'm going to spend 4 of it to advance my tech there. That's what was rolled for me, was a 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 48 on 2 transports, 4 artillery, a bomber, and a fighter. And that's going to allow me to save 2 left. So I'm going to go ahead and I got that 2 left there. So go ahead and put this back in the bank. Okay. So, and then for China, as you can see there, they had 7 to spend. I'm going to buy 1 cavalry and 1 infantry. That will be all of the 7. Okay, so China does have a couple of little attacks. We're going to take a crack at this guy here in Sichuan with the fighter and 1 infantry to come down. 1 infantry is just going to walk here into Quichao to take that back. And we'll see if we get lucky here in Sichuan. The other, we're going to do this a little interesting here. The tank is going to drive through Hopei and then into Suiyuan, just in case I decide I want to retreat there. Everybody else is just going to walk from Shenxi straight into Suiyuan to battle those 3 Japanese guys there. So I guess we can go ahead and roll that. Let's do Sichuan first. So I've got a 1 and a 3 against a Japanese 2. So we can roll these all together. See if I get lucky. Nothing for anybody. We'll do it again. Nothing again. We'll do it again. Okay, he got me. It was worth a try. So I'm going to lose of course he's staying there. I'm losing my Chinese infantry. My plane will go back on its turn here. So we didn't get that one. But let's go ahead and do Suiyuan. So in Suiyuan, what I've got here is 7 infantry at 1 infantry that's bumped up because there's an artillery, and then the artillery, and then my light tank. And I'm just trying to get 3 hits. Okay, so I got 3 hits there. All right. So I won't be retreating, obviously, because I already hit them all. So we're going to do the 3. Okay, that's blanked. Okay, so these guys are all going to come off. All right. So one of them went well, you know. Okay, so then so that's 1, 2, 3. And this one is going to stay Japanese. Fighter's going to go, he started here. 1, 2, 3. He can't actually land in Suiyuan, can he? No, he can't. So I think what he's going to do, let's see. Since I just took Suiyuan, he can't land there. I could land him in Hopei or any of those backward, most far territories there. I think, what do I want to do there? 1, 2, 3. I might just land it in Kansu. Let's see, do I really want to do that? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think I will go ahead and place, let's see. I'm going to place, I can place my cavalry here in the territory I just took. That's kind of a cool Chinese rule. The other infantry I'm going to place there in Kansu with the fighter. So that's it for China. Quick disposition on China. Let's see, first we got to move them up 3, don't we? They were on 3, now they're up to 6. Japan's going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, down to, I have them on 35. I believe that's correct. So I've got 1 infantry in Quichao, 1 infantry in Kansu, my fighter in Kansu, and then in Suian I've got 8 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 cavalry, and 1 Chinese light tank. Okay. So that is it for combat. All the rest is just going to be non-combat movements for the U.S. The U.S. is not yet at war. So what we're going to do, this fleet here in Sea Zone 42, since I'm not at war with Japan, this little sub here doesn't matter. I'm going to go 1, 2, up into 39 is where they're headed. And the guys are actually still on the transport because they can't get off. They have to stay on. So that takes care of that. I'm going to move my fighter here that's in Philippines. He's going to fly over to Philippines. Oh, sorry, from Philippines he's going to fly to Guam. Sorry, 2 guys there in Philippines. You guys are on your own. Hopefully you get something when you attack next turn. Other movements. So this air transport here in Hawaii is going to pick up the 2 infantry that are there in Hawaii. And he's going to fly over to Midway. And I just realized I can take the air transport markers off of these 2 because they are no longer air transports, but the one that just landed there, he's still an air transport. Okay, so these 2 guys just got flown into Midway. The fighter, well, he's not moving quite yet. Let's see, everything's tipping over here. The carrier and the transport here in Sea Zone 10 are going to go 1, 2, 3 over here to the Sea Zone next to Midway. And they're going to bring a man and an artillery with them, landed on Midway. So all those ground units are on Midway, along with the 3 bombers there, as well as tactical bomber and the fighter as well. This other fighter from Hawaii is going to land on the carrier that just came over, like that. So Hawaii's actually empty. Okay, and then other movements. So these 3 mechs here, they're in western US. I'm just going to pull those up right now because I'm moving at least some of them over to the other side of the board. We'll see exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to hold on to them right now. I'm going to go ahead and place my new units because that's going to help me know where I want to move those 3 mechs. So in my Eastern US factory, I'm building a transport, and I'm building 2 guys. That's my 3 max off my Eastern US factory. My Central US factory, I'm building a transport in the same sea zone. You can do that. And I'm also building bomber there in central U.S., and I'm building a guy in central U.S. And then what I have left to build on the west coast is I've got an infantry and a fighter there that are getting built on the west coast. Okay, so now back to these 3 mechanized infantry that I have. I need to decide where they were going to non-combat to. So one of them is going to go here to central U.S. And then let's see. And then I think I'm going to put the other 2. I may just put the other 2 here in eastern U.S. It may not really matter where they end up. 1, 2. Okay, yep, I think that's it. So disposition of forces, and then we'll collect income, but let's go ahead and do forces. So central U.S. I have an infantry and a mech and a strategic bomber. C-Zone 110, I've got 2 transports. Eastern U.S., I have 2 infantry, 3 mechs, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 2 strategic bombers. Up in Greenland, I have an infantry and an artillery. C-Zone 121, I've got a cruiser and a transport. Over here in C-Zone 39, I've got 2 subs, 2 destroyers, a cruiser, and a transport with 2 infantry on it. Philippines, I've got 2 infantry. Guam, I've got a fighter. Let's see, Hawaii, there is nothing. Midway Island, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe 7 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 tank, 1 fighter, 1 tactical bomber, 2 strategic bombers, and an air transport. And then in the C-Zone, I think that's C-Zone 25, I believe, I've got 2 carriers loaded with 4 fighters. I've got 3 transports. I've got a cruiser, a destroyer, and a battleship. And then on Western U.S., I've got a fighter, an infantry, and 2 AAA. And we are going to go ahead and declare war on everybody, all the Axis powers. And so because of that, we're going to get our bonuses. I think the bonus comes out to 25 in this first turn, but let's make sure. I should have pulled these out ahead of time. So let's see. We don't have that. We do get that. We do get that. We do get that. We don't get that. We do get that. Okay. So we get 5, 10, 15, and then this one is 5 per, so 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Plus the 52 that we are on the tracker, so that's 77, plus the 2 that I carried over, so I'll have 79 to spend next turn. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching. On to UK.